All right, welcome to Kingdom Cast again. I'm your host Marco, and this time I got three guests, but this time two of them are new. So, funny story. Basically, all these people are members of the Christian Fellowship in the university we all go to. So we go to Shaman University in Malaysia, and we have a Christian Fellowship there. And what this episode is about is gonna be what makes a successful Christian Fellowship, and I'm gonna basically ask them around, see if I've made a successful Christian fellowship, how they plan to fix my problems or whatever I left. But yeah, before any of that, let's introduce the guest. So to my left here, why don't you introduce yourself? Give me your name, what do you study in this university, and what are the things you've been doing in our Christian fellowship?
Hi, my name is Jake. I have been in Xiamen for about maybe 3 years already. I'm currently doing software engineering, and in CF, I have done the head of logistics and also currently doing treasurer.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. Which funny story. Basically, Jake took up the role that I was in because I remember at the time I became treasurer and then you became logistics, which I was logistics previously. And then when I stepped down from treasury, you became a treasurer. So that's a funny story. So tell me, how did you feel kind of stepping in those gaps that I leave behind? Did you feel like I give you a job that you don't know how to do? Did you feel like I could have left you with better instruction, or what was it?
Well, how so basically how I felt was it was a bit much, but I think it was fine because you were still here. You would still be here. So if anything I didn't really understand, I could just look to you. I could look for you for advice or anything I've done wrong that maybe you can tell me that, oh, you're doing this wrong. You should do this instead.
When
Right.
in doubt, Marco did it. When in doubt, okay, it's all his fault.
Yeah. Well, number one rule of leadership is that everything is your fault.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
So, but yeah, I think it's good. It's just that, well, we need people fast, and at the time we didn't have that many people. So this is like one step of creating a good Christian fellowship. You just shoehorn people into roles they're not prepared for, and just assure them, hey, I'm kind of right here, so you can blunder as hard as possible, and you can just kind of blame me.
ah,
So, but that's
ah.
funny. Okay, so that was Jake, our first guest. Our second guest, why don't I let you introduce yourself? You can introduce the same things.
All right, talk about shoehorn. Um, you can call me Joshua, and then I've been in Xiamen for about 1 year already, and I'm the kind of exception that gets shoehorned into the committee. I've been assistant head slides for like half a year already,
Right.
but I got on to the committee like right after half a year of joining CF. So yeah.
Right. So that's pretty funny. I think what happened was I forgot what happened. Could you remind me why did we immediately put you into as something as high as assistant head at the time?
To be honest, I am not really certain on how, but a few observations that I can come up with, maybe like I made a kind of an impression
Right.
amongst the CF members, and then alongside with that, I had Mingrong who led me through Bible studies and then follow-ups that
Right.
kind of made him, have faith in me to put me in the committee.
Right. So someone followed up on you, one of our members,
Yeah.
and then he just okay, he trusts you, your I guess ergonomics, your functioning, your work ethic, and he just puts you in that position because we were running out of people. But yeah, so that's that's funny. But yeah, another funny thing I do mention is sometimes people kind of talk about ideals. It's like, oh, we want, it has to take time. It has to um, be someone tested, be someone who's been here for like 2 3 years. One of the problem with CF is you kind of don't have that luxury. People don't stay here for 5 plus years. People at most stay for 4 years, and they kind of need to do as much as serving as they can. They kind of have to prove their mettle pretty quickly if they want to rise up the ranks. So, yeah, I guess you are one of the example case where uh, we needed to. put the faith first before we even saw too many of the works at least.
Exactly.
Yeah. So okay. So, but Zach, I know you're kind of not new, but you might as well tell us about your roles in the CF.
All right, I am Zach. I have been in Xiamen University for over 2 years, actually.
Right.
Physically there for over 2 years. In regards to my current, okay, I am currently serving in CF as the head of worship. Unlike the both of them, I actually wasn't shoehorned in. I actually kind of benched myself, actually, because at the time I was going through stuff. So yeah, and you were in no shortage of guitarists.
Yeah.
There were in no shortage of people who wanted to sing, or to play an instrument, you know. So I kind of didn't see the harm in that, and for the first year, I essentially benched myself to kind of be a freelancer, to literally help out everywhere.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah. So you're the other example, which is you serve for a long time, you've proven yourself,
yeah,
and through the amount of service, everyone trusts you
yeah.
to start giving you all the heavy things, all the high responsibility things.
So by the time I was entrusted with the role of head, I was already around for a whole year,
Right. Right.
and yeah, it seems like with my predecessor, my next role is gonna be vice.
we'll have to see about that. So
Yeah,
we
Trust
might as
you,
well.
yeah.
I don't know if disclosing our roster would mean that much. So
Yeah.
I kind of want to make this useful for other CFs out there in like the peninsula of Malaysia. They can probably take a watch and be like, oh, what are these guys doing that we ain't doing? And then if they see like, oh, this is a problematic CF, so we'll just do the opposite of everything they're doing.
Cheers.
Right. Right. But yeah. So we got multiple example. We got you. We kind of follow up. We're good friends first, and then I basically make you do everything I used to do. You're literally you jump in. You got the personality. You got the impression, and they decide, okay, you know what, you fit somewhere around here. And then you prove yourself. You came in. You didn't know who you were.
I didn't really get along with that many people either.
Yeah. But it's fine because and I think that's a good example
yeah,
because a lot of people they come to CF and they say, well, I want fellowship, I want this and that. They want a lot of things,
Mm.
but guess what? If you do service, people are actually welcoming, right? Nobody went like, Zach, stop doing stuff. We don't want
Yeah.
you to do stuff. No, we actually want new people to start doing stuff.
It was actually through service and through humble service that people were like, "Oh, you're not a problem child," you know. Yeah.
Right. Okay. So that I guess that's a good segue to the next question. Let me throw it back to Jake. What makes you feel like you want to invest in the CF? Because everyone understands surveying and being committee and all those. It's like a big investment. You kind of don't get to join any other club. You kind of don't get to join any other big things because it just takes too much time. So what makes you decide? Okay, I have one foot in. I'm gonna put both my feet in the waters.
Right. So this is a bit of a bad thing because think of it as like a sunk cost fallacy.
Damn.
It's a bit of a sunk cost fallacy because if I've been here for so long already, I don't want it to see it crumbling down. I don't want to see it crumbling down or burn to ashes because of a particular person's fault.
Yeah.
Right. No, but mostly it's because I do want to see like a Christian fellowship in my uni of all unis. I do want to see a Christian fellowship being a good place for Christians to be able to fellowship. It's literally in the title. I want a place.
He said the title.
I want a place for Christians to be able to fellowship together, a safe space, and so because of that, I kind of tried to do what is right for the CF lah, basically. Yeah.
So, which is funny because we kind of made some of the most hazardous space for Christians.
Cheers.
Right. So you gave your reason for kind of sinking for putting both your feet in right? So I'll just give it to Joshua. What made you? Because you got shoehorned in. You can easily say no. That's
Yeah,
too fast, too
right.
much. I can't invest that much. But what made you go? Oh, you know what? I'll take it.
All right. True story here. I initially joined two clubs,
Uh-huh.
which the second is music club,
Right.
and I kind of had to struggle for quite a while on which club to invest in for, like, the rest of my uni life.
Repent, you sinner.
I
Yeah,
mean,
nah.
you know, I only got 3 years. I can't invest that much into
Right. So
both.
yeah, which a lot of people kind of have the mindset of. They enter uni and they say, well, I want to try as much thing as possible. Now, yeah. So what made you give the shift? What made it clear the decision for you?
Right. It's actually kind of a collection of a few reasons. One of them is that CF made a good impression for me. Which one of the first one would be Marco specifically? Why would I say that? Cause the first time I joined CF is not during welcoming party,
Oh,
but
yeah.
recruitment drive,
Right.
like department recruitment, like where they have the each
Yeah,
of their departments
we
having their
were-
briefing, their
Right.
introduction, and why we serve, which Marco did exceptionally good at
Oh,
because he
right.
just brought out verses that talk about, oh, people who has hospitality are wise.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
I remember. Yeah.
yeah.
So my department at the time was hospitality. With Jake. Jake was logistics. And I just basically gave a presentation on how hospitality is not a luxury; it's mandatory. Which I do think, if you ever have any ministry in CF, you have to be convinced it's not luxury; it's mandatory. Because otherwise, you're saying, well, my office here is just luxury. It's just because we have the resource to do it, not because we actually believe it's necessary for the Christian fellowship. So, but yeah, thanks for that. Anything else you wanted to say?
Right. The second one would be, I had a Bible study and follow-ups with Mingrong, and he
Mhm.
kind of like asked me a question one day on what about the comparison between what I want to receive, what I expect from CF, and what can I give to CF. That kind of like made me wonder for a while during the time I was deciding between full committing to music club
Right.
or Christian fellowship.
Yeah.
And the third reason would be that I talked to my dad about this issue, and he just
Right.
told me to pray. And then, you
Yeah,
know,
well, it's good. It's good. Yeah.
basically, in short, I just decided to commit to CF after the prayer.
Right.
Basically, that's it.
Yeah.
You know.
So what's funny? First thing is you gave a good impression for us, and we as a community gave a good impression to you. Oh, did you want to say anything?
Imagine that. Should I spend this time helping you with the garden, or should I go play with my friends?
Well,
I need your guidance. That
Yeah.
oh, okay, I should go play with my friends. Imagine
Yeah.
if you came
Well,
to that conclusion.
Yeah. Well, I don't wanna straight up imply music club all they do is just play, but we'll
No,
we'll save
I'll do
that.
it. I'll do it.
Okay. All right.
I'll do it.
He does it.
Hey, I have the right to do it. Okay,
yeah.
I had to choose as well,
Yeah. The view.
and
the,
my choice was clear.
the views of Zach does not represent the podcast. but yeah, okay. But the other funny thing is you got it's not what your country can do for you, it's what you can do for your
Yeah,
country.
it's kind
talk.
of that
You
analogy.
got-
You
You got that talk, which is like it's fine. Sometimes I don't like to Jesus juke people, the kind of Jesus juke like who is your university life for? Is it not for Jesus? Should you not just do ministry for it? It's like yeah, because guess what? You can actually do well in music club, and if you can actually glorify God,
You could legitimately redeem.
which would be fine, and that would be legitimate work, and we would consider that good. But it's a good thing as well. When we're definitely grateful that we have you around, for a bunch of the things. And then the last thing is always good, right? You go to a mentor, you go to someone who's aged, and you ask them, hey, how should I wisely spend my time in university? Which some people say is your most valuable years. It's kind of some of my most worthless years because I made zero net capital and did absolutely nothing. But
Oh, speak for yourself. My net
Nah,
capital is
yeah, well,
fire, bro.
don't worry about it. But that's that. So that's interesting. Thanks for that. Now, okay, You want to say something?
One more thing of why I wanted to commit into CF is because, okay, like Joshua, I was originally in like a few other clubs, but they were all, two of the clubs were, I don't know, they were basically dead. Literally, they had no activities whatsoever. Yeah, no activities whatsoever.
Right.
And then another club, it was active, but I didn't really have a connection with them. I couldn't really vibe with them.
Right.
So, but then when it came to CF, the vibes were really on, you know.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
So,
would you say it was the hospitality?
yeah. Yeah.
No, yeah. So people do join CF for different reasons. They want to vibe, and sometimes they don't vibe, which is like it's fine, and you probably would still be friends even if you don't vibe, right? Because we understand when we're around different people, we got different vibes. The jokes kind of don't land the same way with some people. It's like okay, we understand that, but what I am hoping and gladly, I'm glad to see it kind of works on some people. The CF has a range of the vibe, shall we say? So if you don't like the rowdy, the loud kind of vibe, you can. There's always the like our girls have been the girls in our CF. I mean, not any girls we own. As in the girls in our CF are quite timid. They're not boisterous like the guys, so they can have a pretty calm vibe on that side of the room while the boys are just kind of fighting among themselves.
The boisterosity, 99% of it is probably
Yeah.
me just being stupid.
well, we got a funny comment. I remember this one. We went to another CF. We visited another Christian fellowship.
right.
Yeah. So let me tell the story. We went to another Christian fellowship for a visit. The speaker during that session went to both RCF. He went to what was it? Is it UM?
UPM.
Sorry, forgive me. I'm so sorry, guys. If the UPM people are watching.
I hope you're watching.
Yeah, we went to UPMCF, and when we came there, we immediately recognized, oh, this is a predominantly female populated CF.
Bro, there was 7 female committee members. I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
so. And
Seven and one guy.
One guy.
Right.
That is heaven.
Right. How many guys are in our committee?
7 guys and 1 woman.
Two girls.
No, 2 girls. Right.
Right, 2 girls,
Yeah, 2.
around 10 guys.
Around 10.
Yeah, around there. We
It's
got
about there, the same
we got
ratio.
14, so that's 12 guys.
Oh yeah.
I guess 3 girls if you include
Yeah,
Carol.
yeah. Okay, 3.
So
3.
pretty hilarious. But yeah, the speaker immediately took notice and did the same jab because I think he said, "Oh, take a look, Shaman Christian Fellowship. This is what it looks like to have a predominantly female Christian fellowship." So that was hilarious. But yeah, but when I talked to the president, he said, "Oh, I wish we had more guys as well," because I think I saw him when he was packing. And he was the only one carrying all the
heavy stuff, yeah,
all the
yeah.
heavy stuff, because there was no other guy committee. So he said, "Oh, we wish we had more guys. Let's do a trade." that was a hilarious episode.
You bring 5 of our guys, and he bring 5 of his girls. Swap. Prisoner swap.
Yeah, so that's pretty funny. But yeah, so a good chunk of it is vibe, which is like it's a fine thing, right? It's a good thing to consider. We're not all theological here. It's not always about theological accuracy.
Sometimes we drink.
Yeah, which hey, that's theologically accurate. You see.
Yeah,
That's the real
it's
vibe.
biblical.
Yeah.
Oh.
But you do want to consider the subjective experience, which is, hey, am I feeling welcome? If I talk, does it reciprocate, or does the person I feel don't even care about what I'm saying, right? All those things. So, but yeah, those are some of the things we could consider, right? If we're trying to quote unquote shoot for a successful quote unquote CF. Another thing we can ask. So here's a funny thing: what qualities do you look for in a leader? So I'm gonna throw this question now to Joshua first, which is funny because you have not been in that role yet. So I'm asking
Yes.
you because you've had multiple leaders. So now I'm asking you, what are those leaders you look up to?
Wow. Okay, let's start with hospitality.
Right.
A leader definitely has to be hospitable.
Right. Okay.
Because if if the leaders, the way he talks, the way he interacts, is not making the members feel welcome, they they would kind of assume as a new person who just joined the CF that everyone else in the club
Right.
might be this way.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's one of them.
Mhm.
The second thing that I would expect from a leader is that he would take on the role of the servant, which is to do things that other people won't do.
Right. Mhm.
Yeah.
That's good. Yeah. So you want to see the leader in the field, not just giving orders, which is fine, right? And you kind of the leader, like it or not, represents what the CF stands for, and so
Yes.
right. So it could be the case that, oh, I'm the president and I'm a sour, and I'm like the most dour person there, and it's kind of just for the person. The new people come in and they're like, oh, this is like this sour, right? This smelly. I don't want to be here, and they just leave. Even though the rest of the CF is probably like fine. They smell well. They talk well. They're hospitable. So, like it or not, leadership. It's part of the concept of covenantal headship, right? You are representing your community.
Yes.
So that's a good consideration as a leader, right? Which a lot of people usually say, oh, we're not looking for someone charismatic or just any of that, right? But we do need people who can talk, who can welcome people, who can present things in a way that doesn't immediately make someone go, okay, I want to find the exit as fast as I can. So now, Zach, let me throw that to you. What do you look for, let's say, in leaders?
I'm trying to think of like a very, very red pill response to this.
Machismo.
Machismo.
He has to have
He
muscle
must,
mass.
he must have 12-inch biceps. He must put the
Yeah.
women in line. He must. I don't
Well,
know.
that's probably what got us to
Yeah,
female
yeah.
communities.
Dude, I think that's actually what got us in trouble in that camp. Actually,
Right.
but like,
Well,
yeah,
no, but it was funny because when we joined the camp,
Yeah.
that we mentioned in an earlier episode, it was a lot of girls as well.
yes.
Remember, my sister
more
was there.
girls.
Yeah, a lot of the girls.
In
were
fact,
there.
it was an even distribution, 3-3, right? If I
yeah, it
recall.
was 3 guys, 3 girls. I
Yeah.
believe.
Yeah,
Well, four guys, 3
yeah.
girls.
But
my
I think
bad.
I think it was due. I think it was because of how hospitable the girls were.
Right.
They were not like the other girls. They were like very they were like servants compared to the others who were
Mhm.
quite a bit more boisterous, I would say.
Right. So
Who were a lot more
yeah, we're taking
empowered.
yeah,
Empowered. Yes.
We're
yes.
taking a lot of jabs to other CFs.
Yeah.
I hope they don't.
I think it's just a me. It's just a me thing.
Yeah, that's fine. But
Okay. No,
yeah.
but what I look for in a leader, I think this got to do with my weakness as well. Where I need the leader to be organized. I need the leader to have his priorities straight.
right.
Where, hey, this is the most important. Hey, this issue is not important.
Hmm.
Hey, this we need to conquer this. We need to conquer that. Okay.
Right.
But I think it's also due to the fact that I'm very goal oriented.
Mhm.
That's kind of why I want a leader to share that value and to be better than me in those ways.
Right.
You know. Yeah.
Yeah, you kind of don't want to. I guess some people find it virtuous that it's like you enter and then it's like, well, what did God call you to do?
Yeah.
Well, it's like, well, let's be honest. Let's be real honest here, right? Some people don't read their Bible enough
Oh yeah.
to know what God wants them to do in particular scenario. So,
Yeah.
so the leader does have a certain amount of responsibility to impute goals. To
Yes.
basically say, hey, this is our community. We
Mhm.
are shooting for this. This is our
Mhm.
vision. And if you're joining, you are joining in our vision. That's not an egotistical thing.
Oh, yeah.
That is telling people we have a mission. Do you want to jump on board? Because if you do, you're welcome. Now that doesn't mean that, oh, if I want to do something different, it's still for the kingdom though.
Mm.
Then you're not welcome. That's not true. So a leader still have to have that firmness. They have a direction. Just because you jumped on board doesn't mean direction is changing, right? So that's a good quality in leader as well.
Yeah.
Which I feel is not as touted. It's not as respected because we like the kind of leaders that's like, oh, what do you want to be? What do
Yeah,
you-
yeah.
So,
I actually tried to do that for the worship team actually, where I tried
Mhm.
to essentially put my foot down. You know, like, hey, I have expectations for you guys.
Right,
Okay, you
yeah.
guys are gonna stand on stage.
Mhm.
You guys are gonna become literal idols.
yeah.
Okay,
So
people are
if-
gonna
if
sing at you. Okay,
Right.
so like it or not, you guys are gonna become shepherds. At least that's what I told them. Okay,
Mhm.
I have expectations for you guys. I expect you guys to love to worship. I expect you guys to show up. I expect you guys to be ready to hold a mic and a mop. You know.
Yeah.
So all this, but like I'm pretty sure like 80% of them don't like me because of that.
Yeah. Well,
They don't like me enough
Yeah.
to listen to me.
well, I think it's fine because another thing that we have to acknowledge is that leaders might not necessarily have to be like.
yeah.
The leader must and will have to say at some point certain unlikable things.
Yeah.
But I think the people will love the leader.
But
for
you know what?
being-
Yeah, you know
yeah.
what? Yeah. The there is a greater dependence on me, which I guess is wholesome. You know what? It's endearing, huh? But
Mhm.
you know what? Through putting my foot down and all that, there are some diamonds in the rough though.
Yeah.
And you know what? Yeah, that I would say that it's still worth it, lah.
Right.
the-
Yeah. You put your foot down.
The diamonds shine brighter, I would say. Yeah.
Right. And you don't get those from doing the whole.
Yeah. Thank you,
Well,
Rihanna.
I'm not expecting anything from you guys. I'm not putting any expectation.
Yeah.
No, leaders do put expectations, and you do set requirements. So,
Oh, yeah.
okay, moving on. Jake, what makes you? Yeah, what do you look for in a leader?
Right. So for this one, I'm going to be a bit specific, specific to a CF leader, lah. At least, what I look for in a CF leader is to be theologically sound but decent. He doesn't have to be good. He doesn't have to be good theologically.
Can I add on to you more? Not theologically sound and uniting. Yeah. Because it's like every word that comes out of his mouth is meant to divide.
Right.
Right.
So
Yeah.
it has to be. Well, obviously, good theology we assume does not tear up the body. So I think it's a pretty good assumption there. Yeah. And then,
Right. So theologically decent, knows at how to talk to people at
Right.
least.
uh-huh.
Don't just talk to them about theology,
right.
not just theology, but at least have a heart to open up to them about and accept their views.
Right. Yeah.
Okay, there is one person in CF which does meet those two requirements, but one problem is he doesn't care about anything. He doesn't give a damn about
Right.
anything.
So okay, interesting. All right.
So I wouldn't consider him a good leader as well. But
Right. Okay.
at least those three criterias lah, theologically decent, cares about stuff and knows how to talk to people and accept their views lah.
Right. Okay. So that's interesting. Let me.
A good teacher, a good shepherd, a good. Yeah.
Yeah. Let me tackle. Maybe give me. I'll give some nuance on that. So, for example, one of the concern as a leader previously was, okay, am I hand holding the people too much? Should I let go at certain points? Right. And usually, sometimes if I handhold too much, I look like a tyrant, which yes, I am guilty. Oh man. Hard. the unanimous agreement there was
Lovingly agree.
yeah. So there is a point where you kind of micromanage so many things that nothing literally gets passed without my say, without my approval,
Without you as a filter.
without me as basically your high priest. Yeah. Everything gets mediated through me.
Are we getting Catholic here?
No, that's not even a Catholic concept. But anyway, but there is the other pitfall, which okay, I let them go, but at the same time, I kind of give off the feeling that I don't really care what you do. I don't really care how many mistakes are going on. I'm just letting them, basically be themselves or see what direction God is taking them. So I'm wondering, do you look for that balance when you find a leader, right? You wanna see someone who gives you the room to let you lead the way you wanna lead. Like example, I give you logistics. The way I book rooms, the way I do things, it's not the same as how you would do it because the administrations also change. Do I give you that room? And then when I do give you that room, do you feel ignored? Do you feel like, Marco's not telling me how to do anything, so now I don't know how to do anything? Where do you think generally is the balance between the straight up tyranny and straight up ignorant? Yeah.
Right. For this, I would say if you straight away tell me everything, it kind of feels like you're micromanaging a bit too
Right.
hard. But what I would think is the nice balance is like if you if I ask you how do I do this, then you tell me, you don't be like just tell me, oh, you do this, and you walk away.
ABC.
Then you walk away. You try to like, when I ask you, when I ask how do you do this, or first, how do I do this? Okay, so first you do this, and then if after you do that you can do this or you can do this.
Right. Options.
So yeah, you give them options, and then you tell them like, instead of telling them from A to Z, you tell them from like A to D or E first, so that they don't get,
Overwhelmed.
they don't
orders,
get
right.
overwhelmed with what they have to remember lah.
Right, right.
So that can help them not panic because a panicky person doesn't do
Right,
work
right.
well. So I lost my train of thought.
Okay.
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah,
So let me remember one funny account, because before logistics even, I think I remember throwing you straight into recruitment drive, right? Which was a massive thing, and I don't think we told you how we even did it before. Right? We just gave you
Oh, that was big.
yeah. So he came in, he finished his foundation, right?
I was still in my
Oh wow, yeah, you're still in foundation. Literally not even a whole year spent, and then, but because I know you, you've been around long enough. Then, I decided with the president at the time, hey, we kind of got nobody else, and we're kind of bogged down because at the time I think we only had 3 people at core committee. So I was like, I trust Jake. I'm gonna go all in. Just put Jake on recruitment drive, and I can't even have the time to brief him on how to do things. So we're just gonna have to trust that if he fails, at least he fails well while trying.
That's a
So,
leap of faith
right.
there.
So, but you said, okay, don't perform well under pressure. But you actually performed real well during that time, if I'm not wrong. So tell me how you felt when I shoehorned you into that.
Yeah, so when I was shoehorned into that, I was like, bro, really? You're gonna put me, who hasn't done anything, who hasn't done anything to be like organizing, yeah, something like that. And I was like, bro, really? You're gonna do that to me?
I don't think I even give you a flow, an SOP or anything like that.
Yeah, I was
So
like,
how did you figure out?
so I was like, you know, I'll just chill a bit. I just focus on my studies a little bit first. Then when it comes near to like 1 month before recruitment drive, then I'll start asking like the seniors on what to do lah.
Correct.
So I was like, okay, it's 1 month till recruitment drive. I don't even think it was 1 month. I think it
No,
was like,
no. I think you had three weeks.
yeah, it was about 3
3
weeks.
weeks. Right.
So it's like, so I had 3 weeks. All right, I need to find the president. All right, what am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to do? Okay, so I'm supposed to look for people and delegate jobs to them.
Make
Uh,
games.
Yeah,
Right.
make games.
Make a page.
Make. I think even I also didn't make the pitch. I was someone else's idea. I don't remember who it was. It was
Right.
quite long
but
ago.
I think one of the main things you learned then was delegating.
Yeah,
Which I think was a good thing for you because you definitely acknowledged, oh, I can't do everything.
Mm.
So this is the part where there's actually people, and I just am given the job of trusting people with more. It's kind of like the servants with the talents.
Yeah.
I gave you a bunch of talent. You kind of don't know how to do with every single one of it, so you delegate it even more, which actually is a good investment. I feel.
Yeah.
Kind of training.
Yeah, so yeah, good that you mentioned delegating. Because when I first got the event, the organizing chairperson, like quote unquote role, I was like, oh shit, I need to do everything. I'm supposed to make the page. I'm supposed to make games. I'm supposed
Which
to.
was not true.
Yeah.
That helped.
So I was like, no, this is too much for me. So I seek help from the president and even you.
Right.
Then
Which I never said, hey, here's your job. Don't ever talk to me about it.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
didn't get. Yeah. So.
I was like, look, I was looking for people for help, and it was like, then they would say, oh, actually, you don't need to do everything by yourself. You don't need to do anything. You can tell because you're a CF. You're only an organizing chairperson. There are other people to help you as well.
Right.
So it's like, oh, you can do that. Oh,
New skill
mind blown.
unlocked.
And it's like, mind blown. Yeah, it's like, oh, okay, that really lightens my workload. And that time I was like quite focused on my studies. I was like, okay, you person A, you do this, person B, you do this. Yeah, help. If you got anything you're not sure, maybe I can. You can ask me. I'll give you what ideas. Then yeah, then that really lightened my workload.
So yeah, but that's hopefully a skill that people kind of pick up, right? Of course, we'll just tell you that that's a thing, right? Oh, guess what? Help is a thing, right? Delegation is a thing. You don't have to be a tyrant. But I think that's a good like anti-tyrant exercise to basically put you in a situation where you straight up go, oh, I'm not supposed to complete this by myself. I'm supposed to seek help because the first exercise of even giving you authority was an exercise of faith in me, right? Because I had to trust you to be able to do a bunch of things I never saw you do. And then on top of that, you had to trust a bunch of people to do things we simply tell you, oh, this person can do that. You have to believe that word. And so a lot of trust exercise was in there. And that's, basic economic principle is division of labor, right? The more you can do, the more you're able to do, the more efficient it is, and the more productivity you get. So Christian fellowships are no different, right? And so maybe this is for the new people who are coming into CF and they kind of freelance like Zach. They'll throw themselves at everything, and then the people are like, oh, this guy can take a lot. So suddenly gives them a bunch of things, and then they get overwhelmed. They go, oh, I didn't sign up for this or something along that line. Well, you can always turn to your seniors, right? Because they trusted you with something. You can trust them back with a good chunk of it. They want to see you perform. They want to see you excel at those things. So and that's a really good insight. A lot of trust, a lot of faith, a lot of hope in one another, to build up a good CF. So I think the last few questions I'm gonna ask is more personal. So okay, what are some of the most what are the things you are most proud of during your time in CF? Right, what have you done? What did you witness even? Or maybe who were you under and you were like, hey, I'm glad to be under this person. Or I'm glad that I get to witness this and that. Or I'm glad even that I get to start doing this or leaving that and so on and so forth. So how about I throw this to Zach first?
Boy, do I have stories.
Okay. Keep it short. We got 3 people going.
I am proud. Okay, I'm gonna point blank here. I am proud of the mountains that we can conquer.
Oh,
Okay.
right. Uh-huh.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
When I finally agreed and I was entrusted to organize and to take on huge leadership roles.
Right.
And I honestly, okay, let's take Christmas as an example.
Mhm.
Okay.
So give them a bit of context.
All right.
What was the context?
Nobody wanted to be the organizing chairperson for that
For
that
Christmas,
event.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
So our school, let me give a brief context. Our school has an annual Christmas event, and the school always gives it to us.
Mm.
And because we're Christians, obviously, it's our holiday, we can always say no if it's too much for us. Because understandably, we are a big CF, but we are
Ooh.
gifted to be a big CF. We know some CF, they're struggling with even the amount of people, so they can't do something big. Because the school demands us to do something for the entire school, right? Something the entire school can join into, almost like a festival. And so it's a pretty big task.
Mm.
It's scary enough that people actively don't want to be organizing chairperson. So
Yeah.
your story?
And we have a history of slightly abusive
Yeah.
leadership. But you know what? When I was finally when I was entrusted with that, and okay, I actually volunteered with 2 other people, so
Right.
we became like a trinity. Okay, okay. We at first wanted to have a trinity arrangement. Okay, equal and yeah.
Co-equal.
Yeah, co-equal leadership. So we all wanted to be called OCs, but unfortunately, the school did not let it. So
Yeah, which is fine.
so it was actually really cool, and it's really touching lah when the others actually wanted me to lead them.
Right. Uh-huh.
Okay, that was an honor, and you know what? Through great struggle, with great effort, and working together with so many people. One of my favorite things was how we as a CF could demonstrate that we could compete with even with other
Bigger
clubs,
clubs, yeah.
with
Mhm.
even bigger clubs,
Mhm.
and we could we could essentially do better. You know,
Right. Yeah.
we could conquer mountains. We could take back we could take culture if we wanted
Right,
to. You
yeah.
know, and even through that one event, even through all the other things, well, yeah, through so many things, we have essentially demonstrated to the other clubs that hey,
Yeah.
if you don't want to do it, we can
yeah,
do it.
We can do it.
We can do it better.
always- yeah, we can take most of your wins.
Yeah.
But that's a good thing. So it's definitely not an arrogant thing to
Oh,
basically say, yeah, we're Christians. We dominate the culture. We should
yeah.
set a trend, right? We definitely don't want to be insignificant in the school because is also, guess what, a bad witness. You have a Christian club, and then the clubs ask, what they ever do? They don't even arrange their own holiday, which they believe is one of their greatest part of the gospel, right? The fact that God comes down, and we don't even celebrate that. Yeah, guess what? Celebration is a big thing, right?
Mm.
Joy is a big thing, and if we don't actively partake in that,
Oh yeah, it was commanded.
that's yeah. And so and the funny thing was, I think who was caught at the time. So it was you, David, and
your
my
sis-
sister.
Yeah,
So
man, that's a powerful trio, bro.
yeah. It was, and the thing is, they conceded the title of OC
Yeah.
mainly to you because they did see, oh, we can do a lot of the logistics. We can
Mm.
do a lot of the talking in the background, but they trust that you can make the connections, right? Find us the sponsor, talk to the higher ups, right? Hey, we
Yeah.
want to do this, we want to do that. Can we make things
I,
happen?
I tell you, it was quite miraculous. It was really really amazing.
Right.
How God actually opened up the way
Right.
for me to get the sponsors, for me to literally build my network,
Mhm.
and you know, we are looking really good for the
Right,
future
for that
events,
time,
and the amount of networks I have in my pocket, like it's pretty crazy, and you know, yeah,
Yeah,
thank
which-
God for that.
Yeah, which I have to give credit. This studio
Oh yeah,
would not be able to use this studio if you didn't make didn't make friends with Mario and all
it's
that.
a literal godsend. Oh yeah,
So that's wonderful. And all that because you decide, oh, okay, I wanna serve God. I believe
Yes.
I can excel in this thing, and that was Christmas, right? This thing
my
that
my only train of thought at the time was, Lord, there's a need.
right. Mhm.
Here I am.
Yeah,
That's literally it. And I didn't know what was gonna happen.
yeah. You literally filled in a spot
Yeah.
because we literally had the whole committee except OC.
Yes.
OC was literally empty. Nobody wanted to be OC, and then suddenly, 3 people
Yeah.
said because all of you were saying I can, but I'm scared to do it alone.
Yeah.
And
No,
all,
at the time I had a legitimate excuse. I have never organized
yeah, that's fair.
such a
that's fair.
large scale event. I've never been in a committee like this
Yeah,
before.
which is fair.
And I was fresh into head of worship team.
Mm-hmm,
I was fresh in. I haven't even got in yet.
right. So you had a lot in your pocket as well.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but it was definitely our decision to go. Hey, it's actually only on paper that we're supposed to have only one OC.
Mm.
Operationally, we can have 3 OCs.
Mm.
That was the limitation the school put on us. We didn't take it as gospel. We did our own machinations. We did our own plans,
Mm.
and it worked well. And I believe a lot of people actually grew.
Yeah.
And yeah, because we had a history of, the event going well, but the background, like the people are overworked,
Was just
they're
like
tired,
on
Yeah.
fire.
and
yeah.
and if anything, they were kind of bickering and fighting, which is
Yeah.
not a success. Guess what? If your event looks good on the outside, but people are fighting and bickering and spiritually just not healthy, that is not a success. And CF should not strive for looks.
yeah.
They should strive for their own members, but a good healthy inner members and a good healthy inner working bleeds out, right?
Oh,
It
yeah.
bleeds out in the events. It bleeds out on what we do.
So to summarize, I am grateful for the achievements. I'm grateful.
Yeah.
I'm grateful to be a witness.
Yeah.
To quite literally watch God go before us and to fight before us,
Yeah.
and we just went in and plundered. You know.
Right. That's
So that was really nice actually.
good. Yeah,
I'm very grateful.
that's
Yeah.
good. That's good. So how about Chingang? What about you?
My story ain't that big,
Yeah, that's
but,
fine.
but it's pretty, God timing, I say, from one perspective, if I would say it.
Yeah, and that's fine.
So, honestly, I didn't had much to bring when I first joined CF.
Mhm.
All I had was my musical talent and how I play by ear and stuff.
Uh-huh.
So it was kind of a coincidence where the moment I came, they just had a cajonist left.
Right. Yeah. We had our 7-year colonist left us. Yeah. This video, small tribute to John. Thank you for being our cajonist in CF for 7 years. Yeah, but yeah, he left, and we thought we could just never find another cajonist player, because everyone that comes in plays guitar, like Zach was saying. Oh, no one's in shortage of finding a single guitar. So that was hilarious. But yeah, do continue. So-
Yeah. So at first I thought that I kind of I was kind of like roaming around vibing in the fellowship.
Uh-huh.
I joined CF for the sake of joining CF and fellowship and get to learn. And what made me stay is also that I get to learn a lot of stuff at the same time.
Right.
But what I did not expect is that how um there was not a single cajonist that I can see beside
Right,
that
right.
time Jesse, if I'm not wrong.
Jesse left us as well. Jesse.
He was okay.
Yeah, he was good. He was good. Hey, another shout out for Jesse. Jesse is
Yes.
a good cajones.
Jesse, you're a real one. You're a real one.
Yeah. So okay, we got a lot of credits for a lot of people.
No, honestly, I just met him for one semester, but
Right.
I can kind of see his contributions
Right.
throughout his year when I met him.
Don't worry,
Yeah.
bro. I only spoke to him twice.
That's fine. Yeah, but God definitely then put you in our doorstep.
Yeah, he
And,
definitely put
yeah.
me in a very good timing spot.
Right. So that's, I guess, one thing people can genuinely not be worried about, because I think a lot of people have the same insecurity. Coming from Indonesia, I come, and then the CF is mostly charismatic, right? The CF is all about worship, and I come in and I can't play a single instrument, and so it's like, okay, so I just consign myself to things like PA or lifting up stuff. But the need that I definitely saw was Bible teaching, which I'm definitely passionate about. So I went full in, because I prayed, hey God, I want to be of use. I want to be meek, which is useful to God, in this manner, in this CF, in this university, and He gave me the window. And so, if anyone is ever afraid when they enter CF, oh, I'm gonna be useless or my gift is not fitted, that's usually not true. Usually, God puts you there, literally, providentially, for whatever He needs you to fulfill. And it could be the CF, it could be something else, but there's no fault or no harm in checking if the CF needs your spiritual gifts, right? So yeah, that's always a good thing. Was there
Right.
anything else, perhaps you saw, you did?
No, I guess
Yeah.
I guess that's kind of it. I also kind of happened to join a CF at the time of them lacking manpower.
Right. Yeah. We kind of lack manpower.
Partly my fault.
Yeah, we kind of lack manpower a little bit, but okay. So what about you, Jake?
What was the question again?
The question was,
What are you grateful for?
No.
No?
What was the thing that you were most proud of?
Oh, man, I answered the
something
wrong
you
question.
did, something you
Nah, it's okay to be proud with thankfulness.
yeah,
I
something you
am
did,
drunk.
something you did, something you saw, something you maybe you were just under someone's tutelage and you were grateful for that. Yeah, what is it?
Oh, there are many things that I'm like grateful for or proud of. That okay, firstly, it sounds egotistical, but I'm proud from myself for joining the CF because it's kind of like Joshua that I joined the CF. I don't want to say it was lack of manpower. It was definitely not lack of people.
Yeah.
Definitely not lack of not lack of people, but it was the department, the logistics
Right.
department was definitely lack of manpower. So I'm proud that I was able to join and be able to fill in that gap where it needed somebody lah.
And that's good because right. So because I did mention, yeah, things like hospitality and logistics, they're not luxury. They're necessary. You need to move things. You need to say hi to people so they feel welcome. And so I don't think you ever needed to feel low of yourself because, oh, I'm here because nobody wants to be here. No, that God placed you in situations, and I'm pretty sure for a good chunk of the first few years I'm in CF, I am where I am because nobody wanted to be there. I was logistics for the same exact reason he was. Nobody wants to be logistics. It's kind of a tedious work. You just have to remember a bunch of names, a bunch of phone calls. You need to know how the university administration works, and then
Right.
constant, just every single week book, see what other departments need. Do you need things moved here and there? They come ask you about something that you already told them where you placed, but they forgot, right? Uh, and again, I don't find it humiliating. I actually find it fun because at the time, I was asking God for a friend, for a bunch of friends, and through logistics, I get a bunch of friends because all I do is, hey, tell me what you need. Tell me what you need. Right? I can basically give them everything they need. The worship team comes to me and is like, Marco, please, we need a room. We need a room. So I'm like, okay, I can give you anything. Right? So, pretty funny. Was there anything else? Oh, yeah.
Uh, okay, besides proud of myself, that was very egotistical.
Oh, repent, you sinner.
Uh, besides that, I'm very proud of my committee lah.
Right.
Because this semester, when I was planning this semester, the president was very adamant about doing evangelism.
Yeah, yeah.
He was very adamant about
Right.
doing it.
Perhaps it's not wise to name it. Never mind. Just keep
No.
going. Keep
I-
cooking.
I-
Keep cooking.
He was very adamant about doing evangelism.
Yeah, yeah, which is not bad, but
But-
it was
but-
most,
but-
the
but-
problem was
But
program.
problem is, no, he legit the entire semester wanted to do
Right, right, right,
evangelism.
yeah.
Was like,
which I don't think was the problem. The problem was it was not even evangelism. It was training for evangelism
right,
for
right.
6 weeks, which I don't think anyone would have benefited from that. Yeah, but you say?
yeah, he wanted to do training for like almost the entire semester. Then like got recap of the training or
Role playing.
role play retraining. I was like, bro.
But you're proud.
But then I was really proud of my committee because they stood firm that they did this is not what they wanted.
Bro, I was gonna throw hands, bro.
Yeah, bro.
but it's good. You control yourself.
Yeah, this is not what they wanted. They stood their ground. I was at a point where I was like, screw it, whatever, screw it. But then
Right.
they really held their ground not to do role plays for.
Bro, many can testify to this. I walked into the room like this.
Right.
It was
you-
not that clean.
I mean, I was late, so I didn't see. But I was a bit late. But okay. Anyway, they were very adamant about not doing this role plays
for
for
at least
no
the entire.
for the entire semester, and they even gave their suggestions on what topic to
Right.
do.
Right, yeah.
Uh,
So,
s-
go ahead.
So yeah, yeah.
Oh, yeah. So I think this kind of speaks to a different kind of issue, which is when, CF has a leader, and the leader is kind of up in his own head, right? Which
His
guess
vision
what?
doesn't kind of align with the committee.
Yeah,
the
yeah.
rest of the committee.
Which does happen sometimes, right? And it gets problematic if the person who's up in his own head is a bit of a tyrant and he can execute a bunch of things by himself, which was me for a time, I'll admit, right? But I think when we went to the camp where a bunch of Christian fellowships gather around,
Right.
I kind of encounter some people with the same issue because they say, "Oh, I really want the CF to take a particular direction, but the leader, the president, just doesn't agree with me." And then I ask, "Okay, what do you do about it?" And they just said, "Well, I just pray and just do whatever they want me to do," which actually is not virtuous. It's not necessarily a good thing that you just submit, because guess what? If you're not convinced of a particular direction, it's not actually holiness to, defer that decision.
They are
Right.
only correct because they're too safe to be wrong.
Right. Yeah, and that's the thing, right? Because it's understandable if some people are like, well, I think there's a massive need for evangelism, and then someone else says, well, I think there's a massive need to revive worship in this place, or there's a massive need to revive teaching in this place. Those things can actually happen simultaneously, and I'm glad that throughout my time in CF, I think I've been able to show that, because a lot of people come up and always say, Marco, I don't see enough of this, I don't see enough of this, I don't see enough of that. But then the solution is not, okay, make the CF all about this thing. So if, let's say, oh, we like teaching. Okay, throw everything out the window and we're only going to do Bible studies from now on. That's not a solution, right? That's definitely not the way to do it. One of the things I told you guys during the training was, one of the things you cannot do as leaders is you saw the problems, you saw the cracks, and you decide, screw it, I'm going to just change, or either I'm gonna throw it all into confusion because it doesn't fit a certain vision, or everyone has a different vision, right? Because you do have to acknowledge a particular community can have multiple vision. That's actually not a bad or a wrong thing. So, are you finished maybe with that point? Yeah. Okay. So maybe I'll share mine because I actually haven't shared much of mine. I think one of the most, something that I'm most proud of in my time, although, it's I do a lot of the teaching. That's kind of what I had most fun of, doing, uh, and make a lot of friends. I'm also proud of that, proud of my friends. But I think what I'm most proud of is essentially continuing a legacy that was kind of started with one of my friend who began the CF. So he began the CF, and he told me a bunch of his vision. And in my heart, I thought, well, that a lot of that sounds grand. I don't think that can happen in his time. And to be fair, it didn't happen during his time. He already graduated. And the funny thing is, it happened at my time because one of the example is prayers. He wanted to have prayer meetings, and he wants to have it often because back then we didn't have prayer meetings quite often. And guess what? Now as a CF, we literally have a prayer meeting every week, and that's something we keep doing, and it's rigorous.
More than main meetings.
Right.
Hey,
Funny, yeah.
hallelujah.
We literally have less debriefs and meeting than we have prayer meeting, which I think is a good thing, because it's rigorous, right? It's not, we don't just come up and we pray for each other's needs. God, thanks for the food, keep us healthy. No, we go through the psalm every week. We go through a psalm. We learn how to pray like the psalmist, and then we worship according to how the psalms are. Right? We need to learn how to do that as well, and then we pray for people around about us. We intercede for things around about us, and then we pray for each other's needs, and that's regular. And I like even the people, right? Even the people I've seen. I think the Jisheng has friends in like Buddhist club or elsewhere, and the Buddhist club straight up comes up and tells us, "Oh man, the fact that you guys do AM prayer, right? We wake up 6 in the morning and we pray every single week. That's like amazing. We can't even do that. The Buddhist who is literally taught to self-deny, literally self-deny every desire, can't wake up out of bed to focus on God, to pray to God for the first thing they do in their life."
I want to confess first. I do most things well out of spite.
Yeah.
Let's bring it back to 6 a.m., boys.
Yeah. Well, let's not. Yeah. But now it's a PM prayer. Now we do it at night. But I don't think. Yeah, it does not beat, because guess what? Students. Hey, we got assignments. We do assignments at night. We got deadlines in the morning, and we do them literally the midnight before.
Yes.
So regardless morning or midnight, the challenge is the same. If it's midnight, you have to do your assignments early. You have to get your things settled before the nighttime, because you have to prepare. You have to practice for worship. You have to prepare the meditation for the psalm. Then you have to prepare the prayers. That's not easy. But again, it's good. Again, I'm not looking for man's praise, but it's funny the kind of testimony that gives, right, to the Buddhist guy who's like, man, that's a level of dedication that he doesn't even see with his fellow faith, his fellow members in the faith. So, and then other CFs too, right? Because other CFs look at our Instagram, they see that we always have AM prayer, and they're just like, wow, we wish we can do that. And I said, actually, you guys can. It's a lot of painful morning. It's a lot of painful nights as well, but you do it, and I'm proud of that. Why? Because believe it or not, ever since we had consistent prayer meetings, I can tell 99% of all the leaders are chosen from people who join. Look at all of you. All of you are people who constantly join prayer meetings.
No way.
Yeah, and that's how we get impressions of you guys.
Even in AM, you were there, right?
Yeah.
My guy.
Joshua was there. Joshua was someone who showed up once, didn't know much about him, and then he joins the morning prayer, which I was like shocked because he was like, oh, he doesn't know anyone yet, and yet he joins. Yeah, because usually people join because someone brought them, or someone told them, hey, please join, whatnot.
Yeah, I
Right.
actually joined without an invitation.
yeah, which is great. And again, when like I remember when we have the core meeting and we decide, okay, who do we want to pick as heads and leaders and all those things, we immediately look not at the worship, not during the singing, not during the preaching, or not during after fellowship, or who joins the mamak. We look at who joined the prayer, who constantly sought God before everything else, be it at the end of the day or at the start of the day, right? Because that is immensely indicative of a lot of their dedication. And guess what? I'm pretty sure for years to come, if we still have the consistent prayer meetings, you will definitely still choose leaders. Because why? Because they consistently come to their prayers. They could be lacking in skill. They could be needing like a lot of training. They could be theologically lacking in things, right? But the fact that they come, they dedicate themselves for prayer. They join all of us when we pray. I'm really proud of that. I wish that a lot of other CFs who are listening would continue to do that because I genuinely think it would fix a lot of problems. They keep saying we don't find enough this, we don't find enough that. Pray. You're supposed to constantly do prayer, and you pray for all the right things. We pray for all the things that the psalmist prays for. We're taught in the Bible what to pray, and these things come to you. God grants them because God actually wants His fellowships to survive and not just survive. They have to take dominion. They have to thrive. So, yeah, amazing things. Let me see if I have even another question. The last question, which is, what do you? Let's say if you leave the CF, your time is up from university and you have to leave. What do you wanna be remembered by, or at least what do you wanna leave them with? What kind of legacy?
Let's keep this one short, boys. One or
Yeah.
two sentences.
Sure, right. Quick one, Joshua.
Yeah, I'll begin with myself because I'm the one with the least time left. Not gonna lie. I know I just
That's-
came, but I only have 3 years around. So
Right. Yeah. Uh-huh.
yeah.
I have two. No, I have
Uh,
two.
No, yeah, that's not as much. But yeah.
All right. Let me think about it. If you really like, if there's really something I want to leave behind, maybe it's my service, I guess.
Okay.
Because
Mhm.
I just happen to get placed in a spot where no one else could be. I'm walking on a path that no one else can walk. So I do really hope that I can have this left behind. And also maybe another thing is that I'm able to um you know I have some principles in my mind that I wish to leave behind to the future generations when if I happen to be a leader.
Mhm. Right.
Yeah,
Okay.
one of them.
Zach.
I want a legacy. Okay, I want there to be. I want there to be like a healthy level of insanity that I leave behind. Okay, I want that. I want there to be members. I don't want my networks that I've made to die with me, to leave
Right.
with me.
Yeah.
I don't want the mountains that we've conquered to be lost without how to say, when we leave. Okay,
Mhm.
I don't want this this passion to
Right.
leave with me.
Mhm.
I do not want CF to become monotonous.
Right.
To just be going through the motions when we leave.
Yeah.
I want there to be that level of madness
Right.
to wake up at 6 a.m. No, to wake up at 5:30 a.m. to go and start at 6 a.m.
And pray at the football
Yeah,
field.
at the football field, and then like just rains and then we just get wet. Yeah,
Yeah. So that's good.
I
Yeah.
want that legacy of madness to remain.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. If I ever want to leave with anything, it has to be the thing that I already said. So, biblical exercises like prayer, right? I don't care whatever it is. When they establish something to do, I want it to be rooted in the Word, and that also obviously assumes a high level of knowledge of the Word, because I think every CF stands and falls on the Word of God, and if they pray the Word, they study the Word, they're definitely gonna exercise the Word of God. So, if that's all that I ever leave with, just that vision itself, not even the kind of skill to just keep that going, I'm pretty happy enough. So, yeah, last one, Jake.
Right. Mine is very simple. I just want to be remembered as a person who managed to hold down and handle the tyrant president.
That's fine. Yeah. Well, we got ups and downs, and we have to write. We have to write.
No,
heroes.
honestly, I would be the same. I don't want to be remembered as the person who makes CF crumble.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, we need heroes in our story. Okay, and sadly for heroes we need villains. But it's fine. It's not necessarily in a bad sense. I think CFs should have stories to tell the people, because you don't want to go university and then the CF is like, oh, I went there. They worship once a while. It's pretty fun. Yeah, it was a
Yeah.
CF.
It's one of the CFs ever. One
Yeah,
of the
no.
CFs of all time.
Yeah, no,
Right.
We want stories where
You know,
oh,
yeah, you know what? One last thing to go back to what are we proud of? What are most proud of? We have stories of victory, you know.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah,
That's what we want.
yeah.
That's good. Right.
We have stories of going to war and we won.
Yeah. So yeah.
I kid you not, it's the sheer amount of stories that we had that made us grow.
Yeah, that's good. So I think that's a high note to leave it on. I hope this becomes an encouragement, to whoever is running a CF, joining one, thinking of becoming someone in the CF, enrolling and whatever. I hope this becomes a amazing encouragement and a testimony of our own CF. It doesn't always look clean. We're probably not the cleanest bunch you've ever seen, but it's a good time. So, yeah. With that, this has been Kingdom Cast, and I'm signing off.
Cheers.
Cheers. Thank you all. All right, over. Wait. Help.